so today I'm really happy to do a little crash test and have on stage a young chef coming from a very green valley, very green country, Switzerland. She works, she has a small restaurant of 20 covers in a little village up where, very far away, in a village of 50 people. And she works a lot with nature, with wild food, with local ingredients. And so it could be very interesting to see, to do this sort of green crash testing and see our problems are not very different from the Slovenian problems or the Northern Alps in Italy problems, or even other people who work in restaurants in countries in altitudes. So I'm very pleased to welcome the author of this very simple speech, which is making local a mindset. Please welcome Rebecca Clopath.
Thank you very much, Andrea. Very happy to be here. It's the first time I have a speech in English, so I'm a bit nervous, but it's really nice to be in Slovenia for a few days already. And I feel so much home, because it's very, very similar to Switzerland. So what I bring with you is, or I bring with me, is making local a mindset. And I mean, I met already so many people who are in the same bubble. And this is really nice, because talking with people who have the same mindset is just gorgeous. And I missed it a lot the last 2 years. So at our place, I got asked many times, but you don't use pepper? And I say, no. For what? Because you have so many different flavors, which are just amazing to use. So pepper is just not missing in our kitchen. We just don't think about it anymore. See? I'm a bit nervous. So we are in Lohn, and Lohn is a really small village, as Andrea said already. We have 50 people living in there. And yes, it's between Austria and Italy, or just in the corner, and we are very much in the high-level area of the Alps. So this is our cute place. It's quite high, and so we have a lot of nature around us. So it's beautiful, and I really love it. But what are we doing in Lohn, in this very, very small place? So we have an organic farm. This is my daddy. I just took it over, the farm, this year, but he's still the boss. I mean, he's doing this since 30 years, and he very knows what he's doing. So it's really nice to have him at the farm. So we have cows with horns, which is very important for us. We have really nice races, which are fitting very well to this region. We just feed them with hay. So we are very busy in summer making hay all the time. So this year it was quite complicated because it was not nice weather at all this summer. So we have different gardens as well on different sea levels, because we want to see what's possible. On 1,600 meters over sea, it's sometimes nice to see what's working, and sometimes it's just a failure. So we have to decide, okay, this is not working. We transform our vegetables. We have the dairy from our cows, of course, so we make our own sour cream, we make butter, we make the mascarpone, we make fresh cheese and everything. We have the meat, which we transform as well into salami, but yesterday I probably eat the best salami in my life, so it was amazing. I learned a lot yesterday. We collect wild plants as well, because we have a lot of different kinds of herbs, of flowers, and so you can really put it into our kitchen. We bring the gastronomy and the farming thing so close as possible, so I'm really much talking with my father. Sometimes I am milking the cows by myself as well. It's just normal. And we have as well a small organic shop in Chur, which is the next city in Graubünden. It's a capital city. And there we don't want to just show our products. We want as well that other farmers have possibility to go into the city, because mostly when you go for hiking, you see somewhere a small shop from a farmer and you think, wow, nice, I really want to go there and buy something. But then you end up on your way totally somewhere else and you will not go back, so you just miss it. And to be in a city like this, it's nice because you got more visibility as well for others. Because I think working together is a big thing, and we should work together, because together we are stronger than when you make competitions. So discovering new flavors for me is kind of, you are like a painter, an artist, and you just mix the colors together, and you have something on your plate, and you feel like you eat it, and it's like, it's somehow like colors, like, well, the green is already nice, but I need a little bit more light green, so I add a bit of more yellow, and this is exactly what is happening for me in the kitchen as well. Just quickly, I'm a farmer, I'm a chef. I always love to figure out something new, to learn something new, and if you want to know more, just ask me later. Not so important. The last couple of years, we started to have this Esswahrnehmung, we call it in German. It's kind of eat perception or a food perception. And I don't want only that people eat something nice, I want to make them aware what they have actually on their plate. And how is this possible? I need to know where it comes from, how it was grown, how much work was behind, or where it comes from. So to catch the people better, we have to tell not stories, we just tell the truth. So we go really into it and tell the people what they have around them and around us. So we want to bring the Alps on the plate, and what I saw many times now already is that it's happening on many places already, and I really think that the Alpine area is a really great place to go into this even more, because we have so many great producers already, we have so many farmers, they are really trying new stuff and growing from new ideas, which is really, really nice. And the farmers are actually what we have to thank, that we have such diversity on the plate, because without them, it would be quite boring. So, on the plate, we go a bit more further. That means I don't want only to have something nice on the plate, I always want to have the history of the region, and I always talk as well about some tariff rails, or we go into artists which we pick, and then we just try to include them in our dish. So the dish on the left side is just Albert Einstein's beloved food. So he says once that he loved fish and potatoes, and how he ended up on my menu, because he's not from the Alpine area, but he got stuck to the time he invented the theory of relativity during the Second World War. So that was the idea, to bring him like into the Alpine Pioneers menu. On the right side we have the idea of the perfect picnic you bring with you when you go to hike. And the one below is about the bog, when you are in a full moon, you have the witches and all this mystic thing, and you just bring it on the plate. So we go completely local, and what means this for us? So we say we go as well without coffee, we go without chocolate, we go without cinnamon, gelatin, agar-agar, or even like the sausage skin, because sadly they don't produce it in the Alpine area, and of course no pepper and spices. And it's not about saying, "Ooh, you shouldn't," it's more about showing how many nice things you can do without it. And for me, it's really interesting to discover all this. So our circle is mostly Lohn. And we have the diary, which we just transform to what we need. We have the meat, we have vegetables, and we have the wild herbs, which are really amazing to just collect them in the right season. The region Viamana, which is just everything around, we have oils, fruits, pulses, and vegetables. And actually in the region Graubünden, we have about 60% of organic farmers, which is really, really a lot. And it's just amazing to work with them. So Graubünden, going one more further, we have Switzerland, and there we can go a bit more easily because it's not in the Alpine area, so we can go a little bit more down and just have some other nice ingredients. And everything what is happening further, like Alpine region, so Slovenia, just catch me up and let's talk about, because I think it's really interesting what is happening just in the whole region and the Alps. So what I want to say is, if you are on a place where you work and you just think, well, I don't have these products and stuff, just go and search, because it's so many nice people around. Go and talk with the farmers. Maybe they would like to have a co-work. And I met so many nice people which are just on the countryside, and normally you feel like, well, I'm the only one on the countryside who thinks like this. But if you find several farmers or producers, you really go into it and you see, well, you are not the only one. So there is more to go local, not only the food. We also started to work with, of course, pottery, which is quite usual. We started to make cutlery, we started to make kitchen shirts with woodwork, or even my beloved cooking station. So I'm cooking outside. I don't have even a cooking station inside my kitchen because the kitchen is too small. So even when we have 2 meters of snow, we are outside. And this is really going into something even more deep, because you have to think about what is around and what can we do. And especially for my cutlery, I will never change again because she's just amazing. So our S-Wahrnehmung is just about stories, as I said already, the legends about, and so people don't have only food, they have as well, when they leave us, they know as well something about the region. And this is about, that's a funny one. The one on the left side down is about, we were talking about the gods and the really old kind of religion in this region. So we just made a little sacrificed chicken. We had a few chickens, we had to butcher them because they were a bit old. And we made a really nice jus with this. We had the stones, so the god of the stones, and we made the meringue. We had the god of the fire, so we had the kale from the Swiss pine. And we just got into the forest and collect some spruce. And all this together is kind of not only food, but as well like the thing behind what was once or what will happen once. And here, just to be quick, a small walk on the left side through the forest as well. We just had some really nice mushrooms, and we had the earth of the forest underneath, and a nice clay. We just put it in the fire and let it in there. So all the flavor from the earth, from the forest, cannot escape because it's just close. And when you open it up, you have this really nice flavor of the forest. So you are in a room, but you feel like you are just going into the forest, which is really something what I love, to be somewhere else. And the good and the nice thing is that people just have a throwback. So many people say, well, I feel like I'm a child. Or we had a very funny, a bit older guy, he say, I remember when I was 20, I was cycling with my bike and I just fall in the forest on my face, and I had so much moss in my mouth. It reminds me a bit on this. So that was very cute, because people just start to tell you stories about their life, and this is what you take with you as well. So this is a little bit how we try to make local a mindset on our place, and we just make people try it so they can really go into our world. And when they go out again, we make only lunch service, so people have really like still the open mind when they arrive to our place, and they have the whole evening the time to digest not only on your belly, you have the time to digest it as well on your mind. So some of you may think, oh, this is a funny, so geil. Why? Why are we doing this? So this was actually not the one I wanted to have, but doesn't matter. So for me, the why is, first of all, gastronomy is a huge pool with so many fishes in there. And if you want to bring some people up to Lohn, which is totally out in the crowd, you have to have an idea which is not so usual, but she's becoming usual. And this is really nice. When I see here what's happening already, it makes me very happy that more and more people go into this and just have the deep feeling of we can work with what we have around us. So it makes you discovering new flavors. I learned so much things about it just because I say no pepper, no cinnamon, no vanilla. So you just go into it and you just start to try, and then you are like, oh, okay, this is really interesting what is happening here. So you learn to improvise. You have, for me, I have more solutions than problems. And you just start to combine new, which is not unusual in kitchen, of course. But it's really nice as well that you learn that you are talking as well with producers. And I learned a lot already about how difficult it is that a seed is becoming a carrot, and the carrot is ending up in your restaurant, and that the carrots are much nicer when you just take them out of the ground and serve them on the same day than when you're waiting like 3 weeks, 3 months, or however, how long. The taste is just changing, and this is so interesting to figure out this as well. As I saw with the salami yesterday, he's going really deep into this, and I think this is a bit what we like to do as well. So, of course, sustainability, a big thing. So you have a huge biodiversity, which I think is really nice and important. Less transportation, nearly no plastic. If we have waste, then we have our chickens and our pigs, and I love when they have a few veggies left, which they can eat. And economically, spending power, we generate jobs if there is more and more people doing this. And rural population, because in the countryside people are going to the city, but now we have a wave back, which is really, really nice. And you just get more connected. Even when you are not so close to each other, the connecting is really like what you believe and what you're in for. So lastly, it's fun. It's exciting to discover new things. And it's as well very exciting, I have to say, to see how people react, how they are going from our place and they're just relaxed and they're just like happy somehow. And how to say this? Just like they just give you a good feeling when they leave because they feel thankful. So I want to say thank you to listen to me and my little bit broken English. And I really want to say thank you to Andrea, to Anna, and to Martin that I am allowed and that I'm here. It's amazing for me.
Hey, it's not that often that you get Rebecca Clopath on stage, so maybe you would like to throw in a couple of questions? I would do that if I were you. No candidate? Not even one? Okay, I have a question. Rebecca, may I quote you when you said, you don't need to tell stories, you just need to tell
the truth.
Yes. Can I quote you?
Is it? I mean, for me, it's like telling stories sounds always like you are telling something, but it's not really the real truth. So I really like to be honest to people and tell them what they have on their plate. Or as well, when I say telling the truth is like something what happened already in our past, and that you give it to the people that they go home and they got a bit more of knowledge. somehow.
Which is something completely different. Look, from the storytelling.
I mean, it's nothing wrong about storytelling.
Nothing wrong.
Totally not.
You can still go to a restaurant and sit while they.
I think people love
you
stories.
out,
We all love stories. I mean, otherwise we wouldn't have all these fairy tales or the Bible or something like this.
Oh, the fairy tales, I go for the fairy tales. That's a good one. That's a really good one. That's a good one. A question. Shout out. Shout.
So all the alcohol-free we do by ourselves. And with the wines, it was always a big discussion because we have the Bündner Herrschaft very close to us, which is very famous. But I decided for me to stay around, like on the countries we have around the Alpine areas. So we have Slovenian wine, which I will definitely bring more into it because they're amazing. We have Italian, German, French, or Austrian or Swiss wines. So, but they are all kind of on the natural way because we are organic and we really want to live this. So I cannot go with the classic one. It doesn't mean that they are bad or something. It's just fitting more to our food as well. When we try it and we have our food and there is like a classic wine or a natural wine, somehow we always decide for the natural one. So it's more like as well for being there into how they grow it and how they feel for nature, because I think it's really important that for me that I give something back to the nature because we can have everything from the nature. So this is a thank you as well to her.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So, since we are sharing very similar philosophy in work, but you live in a different country, so I guess you are a destination restaurant, so people know what to expect when they come. But how do you react and what do you do when you get a client that doesn't understand your philosophy and he's in the middle of the meal? It happens often.
It happens, yes.
As you are, so.
Yes, normally this is our goal. When we have bigger group, it's happening more because you have one who really likes it and the others are just following. So luckily we don't have so many bigger groups, but I really know what you mean. And for us and my team, we always.
The question is, do you go and excuse yourself, or you
No.
stand behind your philosophy?
No, I stand behind because it's. I mean, if you are not happy with it, then okay, I'm sorry for this, but it will pass away and you just do your life. So I will never say sorry because I think it's what I want, and normally we have people who really like it, so don't be sorry for this, that will be very sad. Somehow I think then, how to say that? You make yourself smaller as you are, and you shouldn't do that. So just, we try to catch them. At the end, we always catch them. Yes.
There is always a happy end.
Until now, yes, sure. What is life without a happy end?
I also personally like dramas, big dramas. But
Okay. How are you doing this? How are you acting? Because I think it's interesting.
Okay, so it doesn't happen often. It's really rare. It's a few cases per year. But when it happens, it really hurts.
Yes.
So I think it happened a month ago. You know, we also biodynamic wines. We try not to compromise too much. The food is really local. There is no rich ingredient. So we had a table. I was advised when I was going to the table that it's not going to be fun, and they were Swiss. That's why I'm asking.
Oh!
And so I went to the table, and I was like, everybody was so happy around. And then I said, like, I was a bit ready, and they were like, so how was it? And she was like, I'm so disappointed. And I was like, I felt like someone is slapping my face.
Sure.
And then I was thinking about all happy guests around and about our, I don't know how many hours of work. And I gave them the lesson. So I was like, you know what? It's your taste. I didn't invite you to the house. You decided to come. Mm-hmm. So deal with this problem. And I left them like this. And I don't know what they thought after that. But it was for the first time I really stood behind my team, my work, our decisions.
Very nice.
But it hurts. I'm still
Totally.
reflecting over it. So seeing you being even more further away and even more like focused on your work, I just thought like when it happens, does it hurt or it doesn't?
Yeah, I think this is what you have. I have it always in the back of my mind, and always when someone comes and say, "Rebecca, I want to tell you something," I was, "Oh shit, he didn't."
Oh yeah, or the story about caviar and foie gras, which sometimes happens. And yeah, there was a table who was saying like, "But you have no expensive ingredients. You can't have 2 stars with that." And I was like, "But isn't a vegetable that grows biodynamically high mountain and it's not even watered more precious than a fucking caviar?"
Totally.
And then they didn't have the answer. Okay.
I agree with you. Thank you.
That's it? Okay.